You'll never find someone just like me, someone who understands you like I do. You'll never see someone that can molest you. You'll be searching and searching your whole life through. Well, no ifs and buts or maybes, 'cause I'm the one that's loved you, and there's nobody else, nobody else. You'll never find someone as charismatic as I, someone who's been on public access TV for 12 solid years. You'll never see a show like mine in this network, 'cause I am what's causing all of this. Just you wait and see. And I wish you any bad luck, baby, 'cause I'm the only one that rules. You're never gonna miss my loving. You're gonna miss my loving, my love. Oh, you're gonna miss my loving when it gets way cold at night, in the long hours of the TV. You'll never find someone who has a longer schlong than mine. I'm only here for you, baby. Touch my head on the screen. Woo! You'll never see somebody like me on this channel, because there's only one Mona Lisa and one gorgeous George. Woo! I ain't bragging on myself, baby, but I'm the ifs and maybes. You're gonna miss my loving. You're gonna miss my loving. Woo! My love. You're gonna miss my loving when it gets way deep and cold. Woo! All right. Let's get started here. You shut it off? Yeah.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Schmecker, and I have a large pecker, triple decker. Tonight we're going to talk to you about smoked peanuts. My nose is like a bloodhound. I can smell anything from 10 feet away. People say, "Are you Arab?" Well, I could be in a different life, but tonight my name is Schmecker, and I have a beautiful, beautiful extension. The size of that holds its own. I don't need anything else but my nose, just like a bloodhound, and I can sniff and smell any surface and orifice it needs to be sniffed. Now, we have some questions tonight from the audience about their pecker. You're on the air. Talk to me about your pecker.
Hello, my name is Dick Stiffington.
Yes?
I have a question. I have an important question. I'd like to know how did you get your nose so big?
Well, you know, Pinocchio told lies. But the whole thing about Pinocchio, you know, he was wooden. But I'm for real. And my nose grows when it penetrates and gets excited.
Is that true that that when you meet a girl, she actually asks you to, like Pinocchio, to tell a bunch of lies so your nose gets bigger?
Like I said, Pinocchio was wooden. But I'm for real.
Yeah.
Pecker is Schmecker with a large pecker, triple decker. I pass gas and I have a large ass. Next call, please.
Hi, my name is. I think you lost your microphone just now.
Did I really?
Yeah.
I'll hold it like this.
You're always using your.
Oh, screw me! I just passed some gas with my large anus. Oh, next call, please.
Hi, I'm from the Birmingham News. My name is Artie Choke, and I'd like to know that the trouble you have with your gas. Or are you playing the trouser trumpet?
Oh. No, I need an enema. I really need an enema because it's just getting literally gassy in here. I had those refried beans that Martha fed me, and they're just coming up like trollops, like the raindrops from the rain.
I tell you something, we could use your gas to serve the oil crisis in the Middle East.
Yes. Anyway, let me play with my extension. Oh yeah. Appetizer?
Now I understand.
Hors d'oeuvres? Yes.
I understand that that one day I understand you got your big nose one day. You took Viagra and stood on your head. Is that true or not?
No. You see, when I was born, caller, I came out with my feet first. So they thought that my feet, I didn't have any head. And when they came out, my head nose came out. And they thought that was my pecker. A large pecker for schmecker. So yeah, they thought I was a headless pecker.
Hey, schmecker.
Oh, Scooby!
How could a guy with such a schmeckle has a Yiddish word?
Let me tell you something, turtleneck. I was circumcised. So you see, I don't have a turtleneck unlike you do.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I understand. Yeah, was your nose circumcised? I mean, why you look like you got Dolly Parton's breast implant stuck in your nose.
Well, this nose gets bigger by the day because I don't need Viagra. It just gets bigger because when I sniff things, and if it sniffs, just like a dog's nose, the dog sniffs on the ground and wants to smell stuff. No, not only do I sniff stuff, I sniff cocaine too. And it just gets my nose to itch. And when I do the cocaine, I sniff the bush. And when I sniff the bushes, it grows even bigger because my nose gets excited by the smell that it smells.
Well, you only have 2 more years of Bush, and then we get a new president.
Oh,
in fact,
what a state. I think I've got some dingleberries in my britches.
In fact, I'd like to know, this is a very important question. I know I picked the wrong show for this.
Yes.
But I'd like to know, if you're from Middle East and you're full of gas, what is your view on bringing the regime change to Iraq? Or better yet, how did the war in Iraq bring a regime change to America last week?
Well, the war in Iraq, that war's been ongoing, but I'll tell you what, I think it's time for them Iraqi women to show their face and show some leggage and show some cleavage. I love them Iraqi women, and I love to see the cleavage. And they say leave it to beaver, but there are a lot of eager beavers out there ready for schmecker to show his pecker triple decker.
You can't see your mouth. Your mouth, your mouth looks like Santa's mouth.
Like that? Yeah. Oh, that feels good. Oh.
I think you had yesterday's hummus or yesterday's vegetable soup.
That feels so good for schmecker. I feel like I'm having some hair. Oh.
That's a real soup strainer you have.
Yeah. Well, the old joke,
Yeah.
When the guy, went ahead and went to the buffet and had his pasta, and there's a strand of hair in his pasta, and he said, "Garçon, take this stuff back. I don't want it." So then, a few hours later, he goes to the whorehouse, and he's getting all of the hair he wants. And they come in there and say, "Hey, buddy, you didn't pay for your meal a few hours ago." I said, "Buddy, if there was pasta in this hair, I wouldn't pay for that neither." Yeah. You like that?
That is the funniest joke I've ever heard.
Yes.
You should be, this is like a Dean Martin roast. It's so funny.
I don't know. I think I'm sexy. I think I'm potent. And I think all the ladies know that Schmecker has a large pecker, triple decker in his britches. And no stitches.
You know, if Larry the Cable Guy was an Arab, you'd be just as funny as he was.
Do you think?
Yes.
Well, coming from a pint-sized guy like you, I take that as a compliment. And I'll pee on you next time.
I can cut you down the side on my worst day, pal.
You think?
Yeah.
Listen, when I pee on you, your hair grows.
I have chunks of guy like you in my bloodstream.
Oh, you do? What do you have in your bloodstream again?
Oh, I got a lot of good stuff.
You got a lot of good stuff?
Lots of chicks, lots of dogs and cats, and guys like you on their worst day.
Oh, is that right? So do you like cabbage?
Oh, yeah.
Do you eat your beets?
Beets? Oh, I love the bush.
Do you beat your meat?
I'll tell you something. Where you're from, you can beat your prices, but you can't beat your meat.
Yes.
It's a butcher shop.
Well, you know, I was a breastfed baby when I was growing up. I had Dolly Parton, sing me a lullaby.
Oh, right.
And I was like, lactation milk felt good, and I sniffed it, and it smelled real good for Specker.
Yeah. Now tell me, are you in a big demand in your part of the world? The way you look, do all the men look like you? Or are you better looking than them, or are you just a better looking person?
Let me tell you something. I've got all the men all sized up. I know what you see. I've already got the implement. I don't need to pull my zipper for air. I already breathe the air through my upper tick. You see, when I breathe, buildings collapse. When I breathe through my nostrils, Marilyn Monroe's dress goes up. You see?
How'd you do that?
Oh,
Dead for like 50 years.
I'm very gifted. I can bring her back to life, too. I most certainly can.
Marilyn Monroe.
All right, we got one more caller for Schmecker, who has a large pecker, who has a large anus, and I don't mean manus. You're on the air.
Well, we got a famous writer on C-SPAN today. He's written the book, The Tiger's Revenge, Claude Balls.
Yes.
And Claude Balls would like to ask, what's that? Are you wearing a wig? Because I see the tag off your wig. you should
Well, let me tell you
off.
something. Sometimes my back hair, I do have back hair, as you can see.
Yeah.
And I also got hair on my back too. I guess it's like the planets, they're the different planets with their hair on my back. But no, to answer your question, I'm very special, and what was your question again?
I'd like to know, is that a wig you're wearing? Because it looks like you're wearing, I see the white tag.
I don't need it.
Right above your left ear.
This is natural. I have a natural,
Are you afraid if you tear that tag, you're going to go to jail or something like you do on a mattress? Do not tear this tag.
Well, the only mattress.
Penalty of law.
Well, like I said, I can smell you from here, buddy. Yes, yeah. I can smell you from over here. You got those rosy cheeks. Did you play the Batman villain by chance?
Yeah, I played.
Yes.
I'm
the Joker. And did you smoke some penis?
No, I'm the smoker.
Oh.
The toker. The smoke-a-toker. That'll be next week's show.
Now,
wait a minute. One last thing. I think you're bald. I think you grew the hair on your back very long, and then you just combed it on top of your head.
Baby, I'm natural, unlike you that has to get, pube hair on your head. You have to put pube hair on your head and make it grow for fertilizer. I could go in and pee on your head and make your hair even grow even more.
Yeah.
But I don't need to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, when you see Pecker, Schmecker with a large pecker with a triple decker, you better watch out, because I'm coming for you, ladies, with my nose, like bloodhound size. And I'm not Pinocchio. I grow because I'm just so excited. And I get excited when I smell the bush. And that's no joke. So don't choke your chicken. Listen to Pecker. Look at Schmecker, because he does have a large pecker. And Schmecker, for his large pecker, it'd be that long. Okay, man, let's go back to the old tape, and we'll be right back in a little bit.
Yeah, what is causing all this? Once again, it's Gorgeous George, in fact, believe it or not. Kevin, how are you?
Oh, good to see you.
Now, what do you have this? What is this in front of you?
This is my water.
Okay.
Just wanted to. Pretty.
It looks like. Looks like some testicles or something. What I mean?
No,
Seriously, what is that?
no, this is a family show. This is, I'm not a vegetarian. This is a cow's foot.
This is a cow's foot.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
can
good.
I feel
And you can drink water out of it.
Oh, cool.
At least I think it's water.
It feels like
Do it to me one more time. No, this is never enough. Ow.
Dirty boy.
Yes. All right, Kevin, you want a little bit of this?
No.
Kevin, you want a little bit? No? Oh, yeah. Oh, is the whole one sticking up pretty good? Okay, do it again. Ah, again. Yes, and again. And again. All right. Okay. All right. We got it out. All right. That was a little bit unorthodox, but we don't care. I don't care. I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have a 9-to-5 job, so I don't really care. I'm self-employed, and I don't, have to answer to anybody. Have a seat. Kevin, are you too embarrassed to come back on here?
No, I'm fine.
Did we get a good shot of that camera? Was it a good shot? Okay. Smack me, did I
very
can? No,
nice.
tomorrow. Okay, that felt pretty
It's
good.
nice seeing how the other half lives.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I was in the sex industry myself.
Were you?
Yeah. In fact, I used to be a pimp.
Did you? Were you?
And this guy, in New York, he was my best client.
Was he?
His name is Hugh Grant.
Ah,
There I am right there.
gotcha.
Hugh Grant. Yes, all right.
Okay. So you were the auctioneer, right? You're auctioning off. Okay. Okay. That was very therapeutic. That was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it because now, you business people out there, you businessmen that work the 9-to-5 job, attorneys, doctors, you don't want to admit it, but you know that there are fetishes out there. Sex does sell. And God forbid if, we talk about this on TV, it's one of those things that it doesn't make any sense. And God forbid all these Bible Belt conservative people hear about fetishes and all that. Do you have a mic? Good. You got a mic? You got a mic. Everybody's got a mic. Ah, yes.
And when are you going to start making the sound with the bag?
Well, it's all right. It's quite all right. It's quite all right. It's one of those things. Now, Maybelline, tell us, give us your bio. Do you have a bio? Do you want to get into what you've done, or you want to talk about can you talk about your CD you got going out?
I have a recording contract, but it's in the beginning phases. We've recorded 2 songs, and we're actually working on 3 more.
Right.
And possibly next month we might have enough material to do some stuff on your show.
There you go.
Hey, what type of music do you like? A rock and roll type
Variety.
or folk music?
Right now I have a hip hop song, I have a rap rock song, I have an R&B kind of song, and then I have one that I sing. So it's a kind of eclectic type of variety, but it gives me an opportunity to reach a broader market by not excluding different kinds of music.
Right.
There you go.
Well, Rome was built in a day, but before you know it, you'll be turning on the local, maybe dial the radio station and be hearing your voice. It works out. And of course, I have my Christmas CD out. It's Merry Merry Christmas with more of Gorgeous George. And it's wonderful for you ladies out there because when you put your hand on the woofers and you feel it, you go oh, and then you go oh, and you go oh. And I go, whoa. And you see what I'm doing is I'm blowing my sound out of the mic, you see. And you've got your anus on the speaker, and it's blowing your dress up. And, it's a wonderful feeling to feel that, to feel the sound out of my mouth, And then it excites you, and it excites everyone. Kevin, does it excite you?
No.
Okay. I'm
not supposed to.
I'm glad to hear
Not
that.
supposed.
Okay.
I'm not the target audience.
Okay. Not the target audience, okay.
Now, if you were... if you were that sexy chick on the cable TV, Kathy Griffin, man, that would make me excited.
Yes.
Plastic surgery and taking this.
I don't know. I mean, like I said,
hell,
excitement. Everybody gets excited. Hell, I'm 38 years old. I don't need Viagra. I do good. And Schmecker back there taught me a few things, and so, Schmecker's a man.
In fact, if you ever took Viagra, you'd probably get taller.
Yeah. Or get a stiff neck.
Yeah, it gets caught in your throat.
Yeah. It gets like a little, Adam's apple pop out. A little welcome to Adam's apple there. But anyway, this is one of those things. But anyway, we got a little funny games going on. I want to talk about
the Democrats taking over the Senate and taking over the House. It's a beautiful thing. And you know what? Ironically, it was all based on Virginia. Can you believe it? I mean,
Virginia was the swing state.
Virginia was the swing state. Who would have ever thunked it? But I guess saying the word macaca a little too many times, macaca, it kind of just, mukaka.
Let me tell you, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something.
It's a Greek dish, by the way.
There's this guy in Virginia. I don't know his name. I think it's Macaca.
Yeah.
He's this guy that was working for Jim Webb.
Right.
And he was insulted by George Allen. I think you've probably heard of this guy. Well, every Democrat in America should send this guy a thank you letter or a box of chocolates or something for enabling the Democrats because the boneheadedness of George Allen allowed him to concede the election because of that nonsensical statement.
No, but also too, and you even mentioned this on the other show that that basically that Jim Webb was working under the Reagan administration anyway, so he already had the swing votes already. So basically you look at all that, and of course, I mean, come on, I mean, yeah, that did obviously help, but throughout the United States, the red states unbelievably came across and said, hey, it's time for a change. It's time to get the hell out of Iraq. It's time to make the change. It's the stepping stone to make Bush a lame duck president. It's overkill, it's overdue, and it's about time. And this is the first steps in making that done. I believe it. We need to get Bush out of there. We need to get President Dick Cheney out of there. Because we know that he's running and him with his NRA gun nuts going out there shooting his buddy up with pellets. Whatever up, I mean, what's up with that?
Well, it's come to light in the last couple of weeks that the older George Bush, or Bush 41 as they call, and there's Bush 43. Bush 41 is now after losing, he goes, look at all the good work we did. Not gonna do it, and now he's actually taken his son to task. He says, why I didn't invade Iraq? This is why I didn't invade Iraq, you lost the Senate and the Congress as a result. He told Bush to clear out all his people out, or all the Reaganites or Fordites, and now they're installing guys like Gates. And they're installing guys like Brent Scowcroft, and Jim Baker is back. It's the first Bush White House back again.
Is that right?
In other words, he's, you imagine John Adams doing this to John Quincy Adams? I don't think so.
Without Colin Powell, Colin Powell had it with that crap.
Colin Powell
resigned this.
Yeah.
Definitely had to resign. But you look at it for what it is. And then Reagan, well, now, when I had the Alzheimer's, Nancy was feeding me that baby's Gerber food so I could poop better. Well, Nancy, let me smoke some ganja. Well, anyway, so, I mean, we talk about that. It didn't help, it definitely didn't help. But anyway, Maybelline, do you have some comments to make about this? Is there a mic coming up?
Yeah.
I
think it was kind of interesting. My mom called me from Prince William County, which is one of the counties that they were last counting, and she was like, what's going on? And I said, well, I don't know a lot about the candidates, but I do know that right now the Republicans and the Democrats are both fighting for control of the House and Senate. And I was like, the Republicans are the people that did the war and stuff like that, and the Democrats are the people that are liberal. They're okay with things like strip clubs, which my mother was a stripper and sold costumes and stuff like that. So my mom was like, okay, I'm going to vote Democrat. Well, funny, it was one of the last places that were actually counted. And she told her husband to vote Democrat, too. Right. So.
Well, I actually know a little bit about strip clubs, and I don't think, let me just, I want to look dignified on here. Anyway, I think that most people who go to strip clubs are Republicans because most of my Democrat friends can't afford them. They're so expensive.
Right.
Yeah. They can't afford them.
Unless you're a moderate Democrat, then, like I said, you can.
But they don't admit to it.
Well, it's in case of us, right? It's one of those things. I mean, come on now. I mean, unless you're an ogre or you just haven't been around, I mean, everybody's been to a strip club. I mean, come on. I've frequented strip clubs. I used to do it a lot. And of course, that pretty much got me in trouble in the West Coast. But nevertheless, it is what it is. I mean, you got to be, Men are like dogs, women are like cats. Men want to protect, women, they're going to do their thing and they're going to be independent. They don't want to be honed down where the dog wants all the attention. Look at me, play with me, So it's just one of those things. It's Sigmund Freud compares the dog and the cat, the woman and the man. And
Wow.
it's the same comparison.
I didn't know you were a Freudian. I didn't know you were a strict Freudian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Freudian slip, That's the Freudian slip, or maybe the slip,
Freudian.
Yes. Yes. Anyway, but that's one of those things.
I know that you said that men are like dogs. Let me tell you something. You sleep with dogs, you wake up with fleas.
What?
That's what I was always told.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so it's just one of those things. Now, but like I said, I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. It's way overdue. It's way time. It's way past time. I thought, once again, and I'm going to ask you both the same question.
Yeah.
You think that in 2004 that we would have, knew the mistake that we made in 2000? Of course, it wasn't a mistake. It was a bought election in 2000. You know that. But in 2004, you'd think, look, there's a bought election. Let's make it over. Let's go ahead and make sure that we get this guy out on his keister. We make sure he's out with the wind. But no, the scare tactic that...
Wind? There's enough wind on this show.
Well, when Dick Cheney was in his thing talking with Edwards, well, yeah, no, in the debate, the vice presidential debate, talking with John Edwards, and going about saying, well, we don't think that we can be secure and be secure from terrorists if you and your person, Kerry, was in there running this country. And then, of course, Edwards came back right at him and said, look, I resent that. This country resents that. Where does it stop? The Republican Party is notorious for being hypocrites. They attacked Clinton back in the 90s about this, extramarital affairs, and Larry Flint himself came out and said, aha, you're going to pass judgment on our president. Let me expose some of the Republicans out there, like Trent and other people got,
Well, it turned out that Newt was fooling around and divorced his wife. This is while he was telling Clinton. There's another guy called Bob Barr who's in the Borat movie. There's a guy called Bob Barr, and he was former congressman from Georgia, and he actually was a very anti-abortion guy. He found out that he paid for his mistress's abortion, and I guess abortion's not good for other people, but as far as he was concerned, personally, it was fine.
Right. Well, there you go. So, hypocrisy at its best. That's the Republican Party as a whole. Hey, it's obvious. It's no secret how I stand on this. We as a country, have come now and made a demand. It's time for a change, and hopefully, this in 2006 will carry on to 2008, and we can get a person from the other side, from the Democrat Party, in there as president for the Democrat Party. Now, I'd love to see Hillary, but I don't think it's going to happen.
How about John Edwards?
Perhaps, and I'm saying, why not Al Gore? I understand that, and he's not going to, but you said to me that you thought that Al Gore would.
Well, that wonderful movie he made. It was so
perhaps maybe
2-hour commercial for him. There's also, of course, Kerry might come back.
Howard Dean, Howard Dean's back,
Yes, Howard Dean, yeah, that's right.
We're Michigan, and we're going to go to the White House.
But then you have the Republicans. The Republicans have John McCain, and they have Rudolph Giuliani, and who knows? Mark Warner is not going to make it for the Democrats, and as it turns out, neither is George Allen.
No, is that right? I'm shocked.
Yes,
totally shocked about that. How about that independent candidate we had 2 weeks ago, George W. Valentine?
George W. Valentine,
independent candidate we had,
Let's go to the videotape.
Yeah, I wish we had.
Where is it?
But I want to ask you both the same question. Why do you think it's taken an extra 2 years for America to see? Kevin, and then we'll go with the Maybelline.
Well, it always takes a while, because what happens is, the party gets its place to shine. I think it's actually easy for the Democrats to come in now, because the Republicans have made a shambles of everything.
Right.
You give the Democrats the reins of power, they might get a lot done, but at the same time, then the Republicans get to sit on their soapbox, stand on their soapbox,
But why did it take an
and
extra
complain about everything.
2 years, though? I mean, I'm trying to...
Well, I think it was this was a referendum on the war. It was it was almost all about the war. In fact, I think a lot of people who would normally vote Republican didn't vote Republican this way because they didn't like the way it was going.
Right.
I mean, and I tell this to people all the time. I mean, if you were in favor of the war 3 years ago, if you voted for George W. Bush, I mean, if you're a Republican, that's fine. But nevertheless, in 3 years and more than 2,000 deaths and all these casualties and all this terribleness that's happened,
right.
You cannot be as enthusiastic about it now as you were 3 years ago. But even the Bushes aren't that.
And the key thing is, you can't make the country force democracy on that country. Yes, it'd be nice to have democracy, but you cannot force a sovereign country and throw it in their face when all they know is dying for their country and shooting each other up, and they're martyrs. You can't force democracy. It's just,
Yeah, well, that's why, yeah.
Well, people are funny. If we didn't learn from Vietnam that we have no business going into another country and trying to force something upon them and take over, and that we can't win in another country, then how are we going to know in 2 or 3 or 4 years why, if people don't learn from history in the past, they're not going to learn from history just prior.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, wow, when it starts hitting your pocketbook and it starts costing you money, then people actually start thinking about the consequences of the actions. But beyond that, people don't learn from history. If we did, we wouldn't have war.
That's right.
That's right.
That's so true.
I think that was eloquently stated. Yeah, I mean, you learn from history. Let's do a close-up on Gigi here real fast. You got to do it, because that's the ratings.
Yeah.
But see, that's it. Exactly right, because you base it upon history. History is taught us. History has taught us, and if we can't base it upon history or go upon what's happened in the past, and we make the same mistakes over and over again, we're doomed for failure. That's exactly right. I agree with that. What else can you say? Cameraman, speak your mind in the back. What's your take? I'm going to come and speak your mind.
I don't know.
You have no take on this?
I know nothing about Republicans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Democrats, Republicans? I mean, but what's your opinion upon the Iraq War? Do you think we should have gotten out of there, or do you believe that we should have stayed there?
No.
You have no take on it?
I mean, it's not wrong to come in, it's like you coming into another man's house.
Yeah.
Going to their refrigerator.
Exactly.
I don't find that right.
Right. Do you think that George W. Bush is a good president?
No.
Yes. You asking me?
No, I'm asking, do you think he is? No.
No.
Okay.
No, George W. Bush, there was a book just written about him by Bob Woodward. And Bob Woodward, of course, the guy who pretty much, through his actions as a reporter for the Washington Post, got Nixon to eventually resign. Bush wrote 2 books about him. They're pretty puff pieces. The new one is is more critical of the Bushes. And he was debating. They were talking about it on some show with John Dean, and John Dean from Nixon said, someone asked, was Bush as bad as Nixon? He goes, Nixon, for all his faults, wouldn't have advocated torture. And
When do what?
Nixon, during the Vietnam War and all, never advocated torture and all that Abu Ghraib stuff and the Gitmo and all that other stuff is we really have a black mark against us around the world.
Right.
In fact, whoever becomes the next president in 2008, I think America's maybe take a little work, but we'll be back to be the shining country we used to be around the world. The last superpower that brings peace to the world. We're not right now with this awful country that people only know us for invading Iraq.
Well, you know that, I've told you this before in case you didn't know, my personal savior is William Jefferson Clinton. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
My personal savior is William Jefferson Clinton. But seriously, under his presidency, we were under we as a nation, our economical structure was the best. And we didn't, even though there was a chance that Bill Clinton could have gotten bin Laden, he could have gotten. But the key thing, and I don't want to keep bringing this up again, the reason why Mr. Bush, Junior Bush, went after the wrong, individual because of Daddy Bush being attacked by, a death threat from, Hussein. But it's common knowledge, to know that Hussein and bin Laden hated each other's guts. And it's common knowledge that there was a pact, business transactions between the Bush family and the bin Laden family, not bin Laden himself, but the family. They had investment in oil refineries and investments in other business strategies.
Wow.
So that's already common knowledge. So you take that knowing that there was a pact between the Bush family and the bin Laden family, and the only chartered plane that left during 9/11, the only plane that left during that time, was a chartered plane out of Texas to Afghanistan,
All right.
carrying the bin Laden family.
All right, well, let me tell you something.
So,
I know what you're
that's
saying.
common knowledge.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead.
So in closing, you just look at it for what it is. I mean, so yes, I'd rather be told a fib about someone's sexual preference or giving head in the Oval White House, which is, never should have been a perjury issue, rather than making a pact with a terrorist.
Okay, well, you're right, and
That's right.
Actually the main problem in this country, as far as at the executive level, is our coziness with the Saudis. I mean, the Saudis, the 9/11, the terrorists were all from Saudi Arabia. Bin Laden themselves from Saudi Arabia. We get our oil from Saudi Arabia. And yet we have almost a hands-off policy as far as any sort of, because we depend on them for oil.
Right.
The whole world, and yet we go after the Iraqis, we go Iran. Hopefully, Iran is in a lot of trouble. We go after everybody, Palestine, but go after Saudis. We have a hands-off policy towards them,
Right.
and because they're like our drug dealer, and the drug is oil.
Right. Well, it is what it is, but you get what it is. But finally, we made a statement. It was a statement that was made last Tuesday, and ironically, Virginia was the one to make the final cast. Virginia, of all, ironically speaking, was the state.
Proud of
final
Virginia
cast.
today.
As shocking as this might sound, Virginia did it. But you see, it was something that should have been done, I think, 2 years ago.
It's being done now.
Should have been done 2 years ago, but yeah, it's done, and hopefully this will carry into 2008.
Yeah.
That's all we can hope for, basically. GorgeousGeorgeShow.net. Once again, GorgeousGeorgeShow.net. If you want to learn more about me, learn about what we've done, I know, we'll get to that in a moment. I know we got calls, and I know that's, so just hold on. So that's pretty much what it boils down to. That's what it works out. It pains me to do this. I hate to take these phone calls, but we're going to go ahead, entertain calls. Remember, my finger is on the button. With respect, I'll talk to you with respect. Let's keep it clean, let's behave, and let's make it happen. Calvin, you ready for this? I'm not ready for this.
Now I'm ready.
You ready for this? I guess not. I guess not. We're not, okay.
I think this is an unlisted show
Yeah, it is almost
where nobody knows we're on.
Okay, guess not. Now,
anybody
I've got
out
to wear
there?
shades because, I wear my sunglasses at night. Corey Hart. That's right.
You look kind of like Huey Lewis with those.
No, it's like, here you go. Come on. Georgia. Oh, Georgia. Peace. Okay. I can't do that. I can't. I'm butchering Ray Charles's tune. I can't do that.
Here comes trouble.
Okay, we got to look and see what we got going on here. All right, that is, okay, that's probably a cell phone. Hello? What up?
I love your show, man.
You love it?
I love it.
I think it's pretty damn awesome myself.
It's so funny.
Yes. I think it rules. What do you think about Maybelline tonight? You think she's looking good?
Yeah, she's looking good.
Yeah. There you go.
She looks great.
What's that?
She looks great.
She looks good?
Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah, is it? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What about Kevin? You think Kevin is looking pretty sexy tonight? Huh?
I hope not.
Do you think Kevin was looking pretty sexy in that wig earlier? Yeah?
Well, thank you, but I think she is.
Okay. Well, I'm sure she's glad to know that, and I do appreciate that. And you you listen to the show when it's on, and you are a fan, I take it, right? Right?
Yeah.
You are a fan. Okay. Well, I'll take it to be that.
I think we got a lot of conversation out of that guy.
Yeah, we did. We did. Okay, that's what it boils down to. And so there you go. That was good. That was a decent call.
Like,
Kind of different,
yeah.
but kind of decent. Yeah. Was it? Okay. Well, that was a good call.
It was like interviewing Bob Dylan.
That's right. All right. Well, we'll take another call. You want to disguise your voice back there? Make another call. That's fine. You can do that.
Hey, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? You going anywhere this Thanksgiving?
I'm going to Dallas.
All right,
Going to
Big
Dallas
D.
to catch my Cowboys. Hopefully they can beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hopefully, and get a win in. Gotta like it. Tony Romo, their backup quarterback, who should have been in there way before. After that Philadelphia debacle, it should have been in there. So I think Tony Romo's going to get it done. I like the Cowboys to win that game, of course. The Cowboys going to win.
I hope for your sake. If you're going to make the chip, they should win.
Well, yeah. Because I mean, usually when I go up there, they lose. So that's not a good thing, of course.
Maybe
but,
Emmett Smith will dance.
Yeah.
Dance in the
sidelines.
sidelines.
That wonderful dance that I did. You know. Remember that the girl that wanted me to have my sperm in her? You know, we're doing the sperm dance. It was a great dance too.
Fertility dance.
Fertility, yes. All right. So we got any more calls back there? Guess not.
Yeah.
So what's up?
I don't know. When y'all were talking about the oil and the money and stuff, the problem with the country in general is that it's the rich do everything they possibly can, and that's involved in politics all the way through. The lobbyists have, our Walmart, are these different companies that are making so much money that they're buying the votes. It's not the American people. If the American people actually came together and stood up for what they actually believe in, then these things wouldn't happen.
Right.
People wouldn't be making minimum wage with no health insurance.
Right.
People wouldn't, be suffering and trying to figure out how they're going to take care of their children.
Right.
But we're the ones that support the companies, that support the lobbyists, that keep us in the place that we are instead of bettering ourselves. In the politics, whether you're Democrat or Republican, it's always going to be that way.
Yeah.
It's self-interest. They're making their money. They want to get voted back into office. They live in big old houses and
Right.
mansions.
They'll tell you whatever. They'll tell you whatever you want to hear. Basically.
And that'll never change unless people stand up and say, I want it to change. And I don't mean by voting on somebody, I mean by standing up and saying, going and voting on actual laws and rules, or standing in front of the White House and saying, I'm not going to stand for this.
Hello, Anzia.
Hey, George, what's up?
What's up?
Hey, man, you guys are better than anything to see on Sunday morning, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, because we're easy like Sunday morning. Because we're easy like Sunday morning. So anyway, what's your comment about what we're talking about this evening?
I just think, you guys are hitting the nail on the head with political talk.
No. That's cool.
Better than anything you see on these Sunday morning programs like the Express, where everybody's got an agenda.
Right. Better than anything you see on this channel, I would think, right?
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, if this channel had ratings, I tell the PR guy in the back, it's one of those things we should be on every freaking week. I do appreciate it. Thank you much. Good call. That's what I like. Decent call. Can you
Wow,
believe it? I just can't believe it.
Actually, we're better than most shows on TV. I mean, we're better than most of the shows. Right now, we're up against Univision, the Spanish.
I thought we had another hour.
And we also up against.
I thought we had we're until 1 o'clock. We're
also up against.
Okay. You got school tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, I got something tomorrow. I got a business meeting, I think.
An infomercial for the George Foreman Grill.
Yeah.
We're on the other channel, so of course we're better than that.
That's right. One of those things. Anyway, so electrify, personify. I am what's causing you all. Ladies out there, they have a little bit of extra leakage. Oh, in your babies. Oh, line. Okay, we got a call.
Are we going to?
Guess not.
What else was I going to say? Oh, we're going to have another show. We're going to have a Christmas show coming up
Yes.
in the middle of December.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yeah, you got a good memory, don't you?
Yes.
I like
well, we'll be sure to check GorgeousGeorgeRules.com.
Yes.
And we'll give you updates on when the next show will be, and I hope you watch it.
Well, December, we'll just go ahead and say December the 14th.
All right.
Same bat time, same bat channel. I guess that's a couple weeks down the road, isn't it? Because
About a month.
Thanksgiving,
Less
less than a month, because Thanksgiving is next week.
Yeah.
Give
About
or
3
take,
weeks
and
after
then
that.
they got that. Yeah. Well, we got another 3 minutes, so yeah. But
Yeah.
Well, huh? Track one, but we'll do that in a little bit because we got another 3 minutes to go here.
And perhaps I'll come
Well-
on the show in my little Santa Claus outfit, the short one that I used to wear to have a nice day.
There you go.
I used to go out and sing
There you
that
go.
song.
And we'll go ahead and we'll take the scissors and make it even shorter. Oh, Kevin will do that for you.
Va-va-va-boom.
Kevin will do that for you. Now, Kevin, you say, was it that, you witnessed me getting a whipping.
Yeah.
And you don't like culprit.
I don't like
You
getting.
don't like corporate punishment, I understand that. But it
I was
was,
hit a lot as a kid by the principal and by the teachers
Yeah.
and by everybody. kids' parents, so
I
nothing I
know. So you didn't want any corporate punishment to you on screen.
No, I don't.
I took it for the team.
I'm like Bill Clinton. I like sex. I like kissing. I like getting hit. I'm a defense rest.
I took it for the team, Kevin.
Good for you.
That's it.
Good for you.
There's the corporate punishment. I'll tell you what. That's what it boils down to. All right, we got 2 minutes, right?
I think you did well.
I think we did good.
I think you personally
we should
came to the fore. Yeah.
I think I did fine, and we always should do it. Listen, like I said, if you want to know more about me, of course, we have the Christmas show coming up, and I'm in an investment, taking an investment out here. We got 2 minutes, right? Okay. I know y'all want to get rid of me, but anyway. GorgeousGeorgeShow.net. GorgeousGeorgeShow.net. Baby, I am what's causing all this. There's one Mona Lisa, one Leaning Tower Pisa, baby, and there's one freaking Gorgeous George. Believe it or not. Woo! We'll see ya.
It's great to see you, Maybelline.
We'll see you on the flip side on the 14th December. I am what's causing this arena. I am what's causing all of this. Woo! Woo!